Vince Bodie. Vince Bodie. And I know how to pronounce Bodie because I've seen Point Break. Point Break. I'm not actually sure his name was spelled like that. What order of steps do you recommend when I receive my first bind and fly? Well, I will be using DJI goggles and controller. I watched a bunch of your videos, but they cover building your own drone. Ah, do they? Oh, do they? Because actually I know of the perfect video for you, but there's no reason why you would ever have seen it. So Vince, I would suggest you take a look at the GEP-RC Rocket Lite. Oh, this is an older version of Betaflight. Nevertheless, there's good stuff here. Vince, take a look at this video. Don't necessarily try to follow everything in it, step by step, because it's a little bit older. But the general steps are exactly what you will have to do. Some basic Betaflight. Is that it? What do I do? Yeah. You'll need to install DJI Assistant. You'll need to update the firmware on your goggles and your air unit. You'll need to bind the controller if you have the DJI controller. And then there's some basic Betaflight configuration you'll need to do, assuming you're using a DJI controller. So this is where I would point you. But I would say that the general order of things I would do is bind the goggles, bind the controller to the receiver, go into Betaflight. Abraham says, don't update the goggles until you rooted the goggles. Very good point. If you ever intend to use WTFOS, you should root the goggles before you update them. If you're not sure what that means, this is the video for you. Vince. So what I would do is I would root the goggles. Yeah. Root the goggles. Update and the goggles and the air unit. Bind the goggles and the air unit. Bind the controller. And then I would go into Betaflight and I would do the basic controller setup like aux modes and so forth. And I would be basically good to go. That's the general order I would do.